Welcome back to the channel, man. You know what we're doing. We're coming back with another reaction video, you know what I'm saying? So, this shit getting crazy with the rappers, bro. Like, obviously, you know what I'm saying? They got Hotboii again. You know, this shit. I think nigga just bit a Rico charge. That's crazy, you know what I'm saying? But let's see what they talking about, though.
Hotboii's luck has finally run out. A judge just handed down a sentence that could take him off the streets for good. From petty
Hey, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe too, man. You know what I'm saying?
crimes to serious charges, his rap sheet runs deep.
I used to just like steal, take stuff like that. I used to just take stuff. I used to snatch iPhones. Like,
But this time he has roped his baby mama and his young child into his mess. Let's break it down. The baby mama drama that ended everything.
Florida rapper Hotboii.
Bro, don't tell me it's about his baby mama, bro. Yo, this is crazy, bro. You just beat a Rico charge, and you go back in over, you know what I'm saying? Shit crazy.
Found himself in a familiar situation in the back of a police cruiser after officers say that he brought a gun and scaled a fence to get into a school parking lot.
So picture this. It's 3:40 in the morning on July 9th, 2025, and Hotboii gets arrested in Doral, Florida for firearm possession and trespassing on school property. Now, on the surface, that might sound like just another rapper making bad decisions, but when you dig deeper into what really went down that night, it reveals a story that's way more twisted than anything you could script. See, according to his legal team, this whole situation started because his baby mama allegedly dropped his location on social media while he was with
Nah, bro. No, that shit got hurt, man. Bro, what do we do at this point, bro? It comes down to, does it even matter, like, when we say that you gotta make better choice? You know what I'm saying? Because anybody that you pick, bro, something gonna happen with them. You know what I'm saying? The character, the personality. You feel me? Like, it might not be. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, like, do we make better choices or do we leave them bitches alone? You feel me? It's gonna come down to that, bro.
his son. Now, in the streets, that's the ultimate violation. You don't put your baby daddy's whereabouts out there for the world to see, especially when he's got ops looking for him. But that's exactly what Asia Monroe allegedly did. And
That'll make you an op, right? Yo, if your BM do some shit like that to you, that'll make you an op, but like, in no other way to put it, you want me out of here. You feel me? That's crazy.
What happened next reads like something straight out of a crime thriller. The lawyer's story goes that two hooded men attempted to break into Hotboii's home while he was with his child. Now, any father worth his salt is going to protect his...
All those well clips, though, like, all those, like...
And what happened next reads like something straight out of a crime thriller. The lawyer's story...
Is that them for real? Let me know in the comment, man.
Goes that two hooded men attempted to break into Hotboii's home while he was with his child. Now, any father worth his salt is going to protect his seed by any means necessary, and that's exactly what Hotboii did. He grabbed his piece and his son, and they got the hell out of Dodge. But here's where it gets crazy. In his attempt to protect his family, he ended up getting caught by the police with that same gun at a school, which is about the worst place you can be caught with a strap as a convicted felon. The optics couldn't be worse. Police surveillance footage showed him scaling a fence and tossing a black Carhartt bag over another fence, and inside that bag was a Glock 45 9mm handgun.
According to police, Hotboii scaled a fence on the south end of the school and was later spotted on surveillance footage tossing a black Carhartt bag over a fence connected to a fancy community adjacent to the campus.
When you're on probation like Hotboii was, getting caught with a gun is already a major violation, but getting caught with one on school property, that's a whole different level of trouble that can put you away for a long, long time. Now, Hotboii was released the next day after posting a $2,500 bond, which might seem like he caught a break, but anyone who knows the system knows that low bond amounts sometimes mean they're just giving you enough rope to hang yourself. The real consequences come later in the courtroom, where judges don't play games with repeat offenders who bring guns to schools. But here's what what really gets me about this whole situation. If his lawyer's story is true, then Hotboii was basically set up by someone who should have had his back the most. The mother of his child, the person who's supposed to be his ride or die, allegedly put him and their son.
You'll be surprised, bro. That'll be your downfall right there. You know what I'm saying? That'll be the downfall right there, boy.
In danger by broadcasting their location to the world. In the hood, we got a saying, keep your circle small and your mouth smaller. But when the people in your inner circle start moving like your enemies, that's when you know you're really in trouble. The street's been talking about this situation heavy, and the reaction's been mixed. Some people saying Hotboii was just protecting his family and got caught up in a bad situation. Others saying he should have known better than to be moving with a gun while on probation, especially after everything he'd already been through with the law. But what everybody can agree on is that getting your location leaked by your baby mama is some violating your probation term. The fact that children were involved makes this situation even more serious. His lawyer emphasized that Hotboii was trying to protect his son when this all went down, and any parent can understand that protective instinct. But the law don't care about your good intentions when you're a convicted felon caught with a gun on school property. The judge is going to see the charges, not the circumstances that led to them. It's been worse for Hotboii's career either. He had just been released in September 2024 after serving over 2 years on Rico Charges and was trying to rebuild his life and his music career. He had been dropping new music and seemed to be getting his life back on track. But this July 2025 incident might have just derailed all of that progress. So how exactly did he get entangled in a Rico charge? Federal cases and street politics. Now that y'all understand how Hotboii's story might be ending, let's force a massive 9-month investigation that brought down 34 people, including another Orlando rapper named 9 Lock 9. But this wasn't just any regular drug bust or gang sweep. This was a full-scale Rico investigation, and when the feds start throwing around Rico charges, you know they've been watching and building a case for a minute. Rico stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, and it's the same law they used to take down the mob back in the day. When prosecutors bring Rico charges, they're not just saying you committed individual crimes, they're saying you were part of an ongoing criminal enterprise, which carries way heavier penalties. We're talking about potential 30-year sentences, the kind of time that can end your whole life. According to the authorities, Hotboii was allegedly the leader of the 438 gang based in...
I'll just fix that later, but I don't know. I don't know if my internet dropped or something.
Orlando's Silver Star Road area, and they were in a violent feud with a rival gang called the Army Gang, allegedly led by Glock 9. This wasn't just some rap beef that got blown out of proportion. Investigators linked this feud to over 30 shootings and several homicides, including the deaths of innocent bystanders who had nothing to do with the street politics. The really tragic part is how this gang war affected innocent people. 16-year-old Tavia King, the niece of Orlando City Commissioner Regina Hill, and Ocoee High School football star Dexter Rentz Jr., who had a scholarship to the University of Louisville, both lost their lives as a result of this ongoing violence. These were kids with futures, young people who had nothing to do with the streets, but they became casualties in a war they never signed up for. But here's where it gets really interesting from a legal perspective. The prosecution's case against Hotboii was primarily built on two things: his Instagram posts and a gun found in his car. The prosecutors claimed that his social media activity, particularly posts featuring guns and lyrics referencing the 438 gang, constituted using electronic communication to promote gang activity. They also charged him with firearm possession after finding a gun in his vehicle while he was attending a friend's funeral. Now, this is where the case gets really complicated, because you got this intersection of art and real life that's become a major issue in hip-hop prosecutions. How do you separate someone's artistic expression from actual criminal activity? When a rapper talks about guns and gangs in their music or on social media, is that promoting criminal activity? Or
And shout out them Zoes, man. Y'all know what it is. But hey, man,
you got this intersection of art.
Some type of way about this, man. If God bless you, man, you've been rapping, whatever you've been doing, like, if God bless you with some money where, like, you can move away from all that shit, bro, you gotta take that route, bro. You gotta, you have to, you know what I'm saying? If you know what I'm saying, if you want to live life for it.
To how legendary rappers like the Notorious Big and Kodak Black promoted their music, saying he wasn't promoting a gang, he was promoting his label and his music. That's what he was doing. It's equivalent to Biggie Smalls or to Kodak Black or any major artist promoting their music. The defense also argued that the gun found in Hotboii's car belonged to his security team and was for protection.
Am I lagging or something? Let me know in the chat if I'm lagging.
against threats from rival gangs. This is actually a common situation in the rap game. When you're beefing with other crews, you need protection, but hiring security with guns can sometimes create legal problems if something goes wrong. What made this case even more serious was the connection to his rival 9 Lock 9 in the Army gang. The investigation revealed a pattern of retaliatory violence that had been escalating for years. On April 14, 2020, Demetrius Cox, associated with the Army gang, fatally shot Wolf Luther King Luma, who was linked to the 438 gang, at a house party. This set off a cycle of revenge that would claim multiple lives over the following months. The violence escalated to public spaces, including a shootout at the mall at Millennia in Orlando, where the 438 gang allegedly targeted 9 Lock 9. While nobody was killed in that incident, it showed that this beef was spilling over into places where regular civilians could get hurt, which is when law enforcement really started paying attention. The FBI and local authorities launched Operation X-Force specifically to address this escalating violence. The investigation lasted 9 months and resulted in 34 arrests, showing just how extensive the alleged criminal organization was. This wasn't just a few friends rapping about the streets, according to prosecutors. This was a sophisticated criminal enterprise with multiple members engaging in various illegal activities. Hotboii was initially held on a $750,000 bond, which shows how seriously the courts took these charges. When judges set bonds that high, they're sending a message that they consider the defendant a serious flight risk or a danger.
Man, hell no. They want that money. That's what it is. They want that money, bro.
To the community. For someone who was just 21 years old at the time,
Free Glock 9 too, man.
that's an incredibly serious situation to be in. But here's where Hotboii's story takes an interesting turn. After spending over 2 years in jail, his Rico charges were eventually dropped as part of a plea deal. He pleaded guilty to a single count of conspiracy and was sentenced to time served.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You beat a Rico charge, bro. Hey, get out of the country, bro. Man, them feds don't forget nothing, but like,
plus 5 years of probation. This was actually a major victory for his legal team because Rico convictions can result in decades in prison. The success of his defense strategy shows how important it is to have good legal representation when you're facing serious federal charges. His lawyer's argument that 438 was just a neighborhood hashtag rather than a criminal gang ultimately convinced prosecutors to accept a much lesser charge. When Hotboii was released in September 2024, he immediately dropped a song called 9/11's First Day Out, which gained 1.2 million views in a short time, showing that his fan base had remained loyal throughout his incarceration. This is actually pretty common in hip-hop. Sometimes legal troubles can actually increase an artist's street credibility and fan base, but the Rico case wasn't Hotboii's only run-in with the law during his career. According to court records, he had been arrested multiple times between 2018 and 2025, including arrests for gun possession, marijuana possession, and resisting an officer. This pattern of arrests created a situation where any new charges would be viewed more seriously by the courts. In February 2025, just months after his release, Hotboii was arrested again in Orlando on unclear charges, with some reports suggesting it was for probation violations. This arrest showed that even after beating the Rico case, Hotboii was still struggling to stay out of trouble with the law. The really unfortunate thing about Hotboii's legal troubles is how they overshadowed what was actually a promising music career. He had signed with major labels including Geffen and Interscope Records and had collaborated with big names like Future, Lil Baby, and Polo G. His song Don't Need Time had achieved platinum certification, showing that he had real talent and commercial appeal. But the streets have a way of pulling you back in, and for Hotboii, it seems like every time he tried to focus on his music career, legal troubles kept derailing his progress. The Rico case cost him over 2 years of his prime career time, and now this latest arrest in July 2025 threatens to undo all the progress he made since his release. But it's important to understand how his upbringing and early experiences shaped the man who would eventually face these serious legal challenges. Because the truth is, Hotboii's story isn't unique. It's the story of many young men from similar backgrounds who find themselves caught between their artistic aspirations and the realities of street life. From Pine Hills to prison, to really understand how Hotboii ended up facing a potential life sentence, we gotta go all the way back to the beginning, back to Pine Hills, Orlando, where a young boy named Javari Latre Walker first learned that sometimes you gotta take what you need to survive. This is the part of the story that explains everything else, because the streets don't just happen to you overnight. They shape you from the time you're small, teaching you lessons that stay with you for the rest of your life. Javari Latre Walker.
Yeah, my shit tripping. So, yeah, I gotta get